Like, all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the out. I don't drink. Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in over. I ain't know what the was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against cheeks.
Homeland Security agents converging on the home of Sean Diddy Combs.
Now, officials confirm the raid is tied to a investigation.
It's like a broken record with Diddy's situation, isn't it? Just when you think he's in hot water, he somehow manages to land himself in an even hotter mess. And with the recent revelations about the raid on his home, it's like he's jumped straight into the fire itself. It's surreal because, let's be real, Diddy's been one of the biggest power players in the entertainment world for ages. But here we are in 2024, and it's like the year of reckoning for the shady characters in the industry, as Cat Williams famously said. It's almost like Diddy might end up being the poster child for what happens when the skeletons in the closet come tumbling out. I mean, sure, Diddy's had his fair share of run-ins with trouble over the years, but this time feels different. The stakes seem higher, the scrutiny more intense. And just when you thought things couldn't get any wilder, now there's talk of a creepy audio leak allegedly showcasing Diddy's involvement in some unsettling rituals in his secret room. Buckle up, folks, because it looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. So, the aftermath of the raids on Diddy's home has revealed some startling discoveries, including the existence of a secret room reportedly used for unsavory activities. Also, according to the allegations in Lil Jones's filing, it's claimed that Diddy had hundreds of hidden cameras scattered throughout his mansion in Holmby Hills, Los Angeles, as well as in his compound on Star Island. Now, for many, this revelation might not come as a shock. The hip-hop scene has long been abuzz with tales of Diddy's extravagant parties and the existence of rooms where things happen that are best left unspoken. Some partygoers willingly joined in, while others, it's alleged, were coerced or forced into uncomfortable situations. The case of Cassie and numerous others who have accused Diddy of serious wrongdoing comes to mind. But now, with authorities reportedly stumbling upon these strange rooms within Diddy's residence, the question arises, does this serve as tangible evidence confirming the long-standing rumors surrounding him? I mean, it's a valid point to consider. If the stories swirling around Diddy and his alleged secret room were merely rumors, would a judge really have greenlit a raid on his home? It does seem rather improbable. These kinds of investigations have a way of uncovering unexpected and often unsettling truths, almost like opening a Pandora's box. And you're right, Diddy isn't exactly a stranger to controversy. In fact, he's arguably one of the most polarizing figures not just in the music world, but across the entire entertainment industry. They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and it looks like the flames of speculation surrounding Diddy are now being fanned by the presence of federal agents. Also, recently, Tonica Ray, a TV host and one-time backup singer for Diddy, said she had a horrific experience with the rapper that caused her to avoid him. Ray wrote in a social media post that she knew to avoid him at all costs. I just knew to avoid him at all costs. Yes, I danced for him and kept my space. I interviewed him for his projects and kept my space. Nothing that is happening is surprising, she wrote, according to Page 6. She then said she would not divulge what allegedly happened to her to avoid revisiting the trauma it caused. Now, turning our attention to the leaked audio, word on the street is that it allegedly features Diddy and Meek Mill engaging in activities of a sensitive nature. In Lil Rod's lawsuit, he also exposed Meek Mill and Usher as one of the people that often came to these freak-offs. Rodney didn't explicitly mention Meek Mill and Usher's names in the lawsuit like he did with everybody else, but he gave some descriptions that had very specific details that pretty much made everybody know who he was talking about. Like, he described Meek as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and described Usher as a male R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency.
For Mr. Jones that he had engaged a rapper. 5, that's redacted. Look, 5, he's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. And then the next person, R&B singer, 6, redacted. Look, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Usher!
Now, I'm sure you all know Meek is definitely a rapper from Philadelphia who dated Nicki from 2015 to 2017. Usher also just had a very successful Vegas residency, which reportedly grossed over $100 million, and he did in fact perform at the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago. Anyway, going back to Rodney's lawsuit, he claimed that he witnessed Usher and Diddy hooking up several times and making out with the girls that Young Miami and Justin would bring for him. Rodney recalled the time where they were partying on Diddy's yacht, and he saw both Meek and Usher messing with several several girls. Now, when this news hit, Meek went into overdrive on social media, firing off tweets left and right in a frantic attempt to clear his name. But let's just say the online community wasn't exactly buying what he was selling. He also got into a huge Twitter feud with DJ Academics, who was only reporting on the news. Like, imagine attacking somebody who's just doing his job. One of his tweets said, "I'm from Philly. I don't do or freaky ass Molly. Nobody won't even offer me coke because I'm that heavy. No man or what would ever approach me about activity, and the whole place don't get flipped. Woke up seeing this on every blog like they know I'm coming, lol." Things quieted down for a bit, with folks realizing that Meek seemed to be on the edge of a mental breakdown and nobody wanted to push him further. That is, until Diddy's ex-bodyguard dropped a bombshell, an audio clip allegedly featuring Meek and Diddy. The shockwaves were palpable. I mean, the voices on that recording, pretty darn close to Meek and Diddy. And the content? Let's just say it wasn't easy listening. Meek's screams, reportedly in serious distress, sent shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it. Trigger warning, this audio is very disturbing and very sensitive. Now, the ex-bodyguard in question, who recorded and leaked the audio, made an entire video narrating how it came out. He said it happened during one of Diddy's freak-offs, and he decided to lean by the door to record what he was hearing because he was shocked to see Meek allowing Diddy to pound him like this. He said Diddy intentionally spiked everybody's drinks at that party so they would be too drunk and too high to even know what's going on. But he didn't drink, and that's why he was sober enough to witness what he and Meek were doing.
Like, all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the out. I don't drink. Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in. Oh, I ain't know what the was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against cheeks.
I mean, do you all remember that video circulating where Meek was chilling in the pool, looking a bit, well, uncomfortable, while Diddy hovered nearby, calling him daddy and talking about Meek putting in work? Yeah, that one. It's hard to forget. Some folks are connecting the dots, suggesting it might have been filmed right after whatever went down between Meek and Diddy in that bedroom.
Man, you doing it. Deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
And to make matters even worse, Meek was caught following a page on Twitter that exclusively posts videos of black men hounding each other. Maybe he was trying to learn some new positions for Diddy. Who knows? But as soon as people caught him, he immediately unfollowed the page. And if that's not enough to raise eyebrows, there's more. An old song of Meek's surfaced online recently, and the lyrics? Let's just say they paint a pretty vivid picture. In the track, Meek talks about chasing his Hollywood dreams, but there's this whole section where he seems to confess to getting involved with Diddy in some not-so-savory ways to make it big. And then he's asking for forgiveness for his actions.
I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Dream chasers. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy.
It's truly heartbreaking to see the situation unfold, and it's becoming increasingly apparent that Diddy has been taking advantage of Meek for a long time. It seems Meek felt compelled to endure whatever Diddy put him through, perhaps in the hope that it would somehow catapult his career to new heights. But as we can see, that plan clearly backfired. Meek's career has taken a serious hit. He's been dropped from his label, his latest album didn't meet expectations, and now he's facing isolation within the industry as other rappers distance themselves upon learning about his association with Diddy. It's a harsh reality check for Meek, and it's clear that his involvement with Diddy has had far-reaching consequences. Now, Meek Mill isn't the first guy who has had their run-ins with Diddy. There's been whispers from other big shots in the industry too. Let's start with actor and choreographer Columbus Short, who recently shared a video claiming Diddy tried to get him to come to his hotel room at 3 a.m. In a video, he straight up said Diddy tried to pull him into a late-night hotel room situation at 3 a.m. Columbus ain't keeping quiet about it either. He's like, I'm snitching in the kitchen. Columbus shared the story, saying he got a random call from Diddy in the middle of the night when he was still married. Diddy was all, why weren't you at the BET Awards? Columbus, being a married man and all, was like, I'm in bed with my wife, man. Diddy, unfazed, dropped the bomb that he was at the Beverly Hills Hotel, just chilling solo. Now, props to Columbus for speaking up, but can we please retire the word snitch, especially when it's about reporting serious stuff like SA? It's not snitching, it's being a decent human and doing your civic duty. We need more people calling out bad behavior, not turning a blind eye. Then there's Usher. Back in the 90s, Diddy ran this thing called Puffy Flavor camp. It was like a crash course for young stars to get some mentorship from the man himself. And let me tell you, the stories these celebs have spilled about their time in Puffy Flavor Camp are just wild. Usher, the R&B sensation we all know, spilled the beans in 2016. He told Howard that he really got a taste of fame after spending a year living with Puff Daddy when he was just 14. Picture it, young Usher wowing L.A. Reid with his musical skills, and bam, he's jetting off to New York to crash with Puffy during the golden era of Bad Boy Records, all in the name of getting the real deal scoop on making it big in the music scene. I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle and I saw it, Usher said during his first Stern Show interview. It was pretty wild, it was crazy, Usher said, while rattling off some of the biggest names in hip-hop who were a constant presence at Puffy's house, including Notorious Big, Lil Kim, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, and Craig Mack. I was like the little brother, they called me baby Usher spilled. Also, there's Sway Lee, who took a trip to the Bahamas with Diddy a few years back. And then there's Justin Bieber, who apparently had some fear vibes going on whenever Diddy was around. Now here's a bombshell. An unnamed guy has come forward, accusing Diddy of some serious allegations dating back to 1989. The guy claims he was SA'd by Diddy and a friend after an off-campus party at Howard University. The guy says, "I know this is random, but my name is blank, and I was SA'd by Diddy and a friend of his on April 15th, 1989 in DC. It has taken a lot of strength for me to get to this stage of self-assurance, but I now know I have nothing to be ashamed of. I attended Howard University the same time he was there, and I was taken advantage of after an off-campus party. I will be the first to admit I was Diddy noticed I was and offered to give me a ride back to my I trusted him at the time because we were acquainted with one another because we had economics class together." This man went on to spill some explicit details about how Diddy allegedly lured him into his apartment, where another guy named Lorenzo was waiting. According to the accuser, he was and both of them took turns doing some really inappropriate stuff. Now remember, all of this is just the guy's side of the story, but he's not taking it lightly. He's prepping to sue Diddy, getting all his documents in order, and he's dead set on making Diddy pay for what he says went down that night. It's a serious situation, and he's adamant that it changed him forever. Well, it looks like Diddy might have another lawsuit in his hands soon. And of course, we cannot leave out the most recent lawsuit filed against Diddy by Lil Rod. Among the laundry list of accusations is Diddy allegedly strong-arming Jones into arranging encounters with SEX workers and pressuring him into participating in some seriously unwanted bedroom activities, not just with these workers, but with others too. And if that's not enough to make your jaw hit the floor, Diddy supposedly served up spiked drinks to unsuspecting guests at his swanky parties. According to the lawsuit, there are even screenshots supposedly showing gatherings at Diddy's that included underage girls and more SEX workers. And some of these ladies allegedly had their drinks tampered with at Diddy's direction. This legal bombshell also called out some other names, like about Diddy's right-hand woman, Christina Coram, Universal Music Group CEO Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown Records CEO Ethiopia Habtemariam. They're all caught up in this legal whirlwind. Jones says in the lawsuit that Grange, Habtemariam, Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Music Group effectively worked together with Combs in a RICO enterprise that failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise the actions of Combs, his son, and his chief of staff. A RICO enterprise is any individuals or groups that act together to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. And Jones isn't just looking for a slap on the wrist here, he's aiming high, seeking a cool $30 million in damages. But an attorney for Combs is slamming Jones' claims as pure fiction, straight up calling them out as a cheap ploy to grab headlines. "We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls," the attorney, Sean Hawley, said in a statement. "We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them." Now, according to Jones' lawsuit, he claims that back in August 2022, Diddy himself reached out to him to produce some tunes for the R&B album, The Love Album, Off the Grid, which ended up snagging a Grammy nomination after its release in September 2023. But here's the kicker. Jones says his life took a nosedive after he agreed to work with Diddy. Jones alleges that Combs' SEX harassed and aided him while he lived with him at Combs' homes in Florida, Los Angeles, and New York, as well as on a yacht Combs rented in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The harassment in A included constant unsolicited and unauthorized and touching of his A, according to the lawsuit. Jones says he was forced to work in Combs' bathroom as Combs showered naked in a glass enclosure. When he tried to raise the alarm about Diddy's behavior to Christina Coram, Diddy's right-hand woman, Jones claims she brushed it off as just friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. The lawsuit accuses Coram of aiding and abetting Combs' SA of Jones and of working with Combs to G-word him into accepting a homo relationship. Jones also alleges that he was forced to solicit SEX workers and perform SEX acts with them to please Combs. To aid in the alleged recruitment, Jones said, Combs provided him with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to a Miami establishment as a signal to any SEX worker he approached that Combs was in town and had sent Jones to recruit them. Jones alleges Combs, whom he describes in the suit as forceful and demanding and someone who does not take no for an answer, leveraged his power as one of the most influential people in hip-hop and business to intimidate him, including by threatening to inflict bodily harm if Jones did not comply with his demands. On one occasion, Jones alleges, Combs forced him to watch as he displayed and bragged about getting away with shooting people. In a separate incident, Jones alleges, Combs shared that he was responsible for a shooting in a nightclub in New York City in 1999 with the rapper Shine, born Jamal Barrow. A jury acquitted Combs of possession and charges in connection with that incident, while Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Jones was terrified of Combs and felt he could not tell him no, according to the suit. Mr. Combs consistently made it clear that he has immense power in the music industry and with law enforcement, the lawsuit says. Jones says in the lawsuit that he has video and audio evidence to support some of the allegations. The lawsuit says that Combs required Jones to record him constantly, and that on several occasions, Combs took Jones's cell phone to record himself. As a result, Jones alleges he has hundreds of hours of video and audio records of Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Jones says in the suit that he believes Combs also him on February 2, 2023. He alleges he woke up naked, dizzy, and confused in bed with Combs and two SEX workers. In response to a request for comment, Jones's attorney Tyrone Blackburn used a Latin phrase res ipsa loquitur, which loosely translates as the thing speaks for itself, referring to the lawsuit. Jones says in the suit that he was under an implied work-for-hire agreement and was not compensated for the songs he produced on the Love album. As a result, the lawsuit says Combs, Love Records, Motown Records, and Universal Music Group were all unjustly enriched at his expense. Guys, seriously, this lawsuit is off the charts. As we all know that before now, Diddy has been sued by 4 women who have accused him of SA. Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, said Combs aid her and forced her to have SEX with male prostitutes while he got off on it and recorded the encounters. The lawsuit was settled the day after it was filed. The settlement was in no way an admission of wrongdoing, Combs' lawyer Ben Braffman has said. Following Cassie's lawsuit, 2 other women, Liza Gardner and Joey Dickerson Neal, have alleged in lawsuits that Combs SA'd them, and a woman identified as Jane Doe in court documents said Combs and 2 other men worded her when she was 17 and Combs was 34. Those 3 cases against Combs are still pending. In a statement in December, he denied the allegations, saying, "Enough is enough," and called the claims against him sickening. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth, he said in the statement. Guys, this is crazy. The accusations flying around could seriously dent Diddy's legacy and his whole business empire. I mean, after Ventura dropped her bombshell lawsuit, 3 of Diddy's former artists came out in support of her. And that's not all. Around the same time, Diddy stepped down from his chairman position at Revolt TV. Then, in December, Hulu pulled the plug on a reality show that was supposed to be all about Diddy's family. And if that's not enough drama for you, in January, Diddy settled his lawsuit with Diageo, where he was accusing them of racism. This might just be the end for Diddy, but let me know what you guys think of all this in the comment section, and we'll catch you in the next video.